Greetings, everybody, for whatever the heck this is in the year of our pandemic. Look, I've been a little bit busy. You know, it's not like there's been a global pandemic that's raging out of control, but hey, who am I? All right, so this is actually another one of my weird videos. It's semi-toy review, semi-me rambling, which has already happened, already 20 seconds into this. All right, so first off, this is the 20th anniversary Toynami Lion Force. This is just the toy review part of this, but my actual video is going to be why the heck, or sorry, not why the heck, which Voltron team you would probably end up on. And basically a comparison of two different Voltrons. Now, if you don't have to see the doctor regularly for a colonoscopy because of your age, you're probably thinking, you know, this Voltron. This is known as a 84 Voltron. Oh, see, look at that. Look at that. Legs already coming off. Great Toynami. It's $180 damn of my hard-earned time down the toilet. But anyways, this is the 84 Voltron. I think this one is Legendary Defender. Let me just cheat here. No, back in the day, this one just was Voltron, but this is a 20th anniversary one, and it's actually pretty old at this time. The Voltron is sort of okay. It's sort of your standard westernized Voltron, and the reason I say westernized is you sort of take a look at the proportions in the face. The Western versions tend to have these more normal proportions for a Voltron, meaning that like its head is proportioned to its legs. The Japanese ones tend to have these really tiny heads, and the torso is all jacked up and stuff, but this one, you know, keep sort of these relatively human proportions. So it's more of a Western sort of style Voltron. It's okay, but what's really Mac Daddy about this thing, again, Mac Daddy showing my age, is the box. I mean, this is the best. You know, Voltron's okay, whatever. You know, there's probably a billion better Voltrons and a billion other YouTubers looking at those better Voltrons, but the box on this thing is absolutely amazing. It's made like a book. It's got your little Lion Force people over here. I would recall their name, but I don't like to do any research for anything I broadcast like every other YouTuber out there. But it's got this neat little, you know, sort of thing, you know, Voltron Lion Force Masterpiece Collection. And the coolest part is the lions are sort of stored in these drawers, you know, that comes out. So you have that one set of drawers and the other set of drawers here, instruction book, and it's got the gratuitous certificate of authenticity in it. But, you know, I really wish that all future Voltrons would just come in this box. Because that's really the thing for this. In fact, this Voltron was re-released in a better format. He came with light-up eyes and a light-up base about 10 years later. But again, the Mac Daddy packaging on this one just sort of seals the deal for me. And it was, you know, 20th anniversary. Of course, they're now up to, what, the 40th anniversary? I don't know. Time has no meaning for me anymore. All right, so anyways, that's Voltron number one. Voltron number two, like I said, if you were younger and, you know, didn't have chronic health conditions, this is probably the second Voltron you're remembering, right? This is sort of the Netflix Voltron. But this isn't the one I'm going to compare to because, quite frankly, you know, I don't know what the heck they were doing with this Voltron. I mean, it's okay. It's great. I think they're going, you know, one for the kiddies, you know, and they make this so little Johnny doesn't choke on it and it doesn't break, you know, like the leg doesn't come off like this thing did, you know, 2 seconds ago. The problem is this, it's the scale. You know, you have dorks collecting these things and you want all your Voltrons to sort of be in scale. So this one only comes in this sort of 9-inch configuration, if that. And then the other Voltron's 18, you know, is 18 inches tall. So this is sort of like a standard, you know, I think what this is like 11-inch, 10-inch. This is sort of the standard, well, that can't be 10-inch because this is like, see, they're cheating. They're using the freaking wingtips on this one. But anyways, this is sort of your standard thing. Like if I have this Voltron and I get a Japanese Voltron and then I get some other Japanese combiner toys, they're all roughly going to be the same size. You know, but then when they release this thing, it's a totally different scale. So, you know, it doesn't match. And I don't even know what scale. Like if you had this, what toy would this thing even fight against? Because there's, I mean, I guess it works if you buy the freaking, you know, Godzilla vinyls and maybe, but then those Godzilla vinyls are even a different size. So they're kind of up to here. So this grown man can't play with his toys properly, except for showing it on YouTube. You know, and again, just to point out the difference, when you put together the price on this thing was like, you know, totally all together was like $100, but you can see that the paint, you know, isn't nearly as Mac Daddy or as nice as this thing. And I'm not just talking the chrome, I'm talking, you know, the paint applications, etc. So again, I wandered off too much as usual, but oh, see, look at that. The latch came off the leg. Okay, see, it's back. So this is just, see the latch. And it's one of those things you don't want to push it down and bust the damn thing, even though it's $180. All right. So anyways, I'm actually not comparing these two Voltrons. All right. So maybe it's a comparison of 3 Voltrons is what I should title this. And don't worry, on this next Voltron, I'm probably am going to do a semi unboxing, semi putting together thing on it, but it's just, it's too damn nice. I'm actually talking about, so we have the Lion Voltron, and then they just came out with this last year vehicle Voltron. Okay. So again, these are actually from 2 different lines. This one here is, the Toynami line. This one is actually from Japan. I paid a freaking arm and a leg for this one because, the Japanese tend to just do 1 or 2 print runs of their things. And it's 2020. So, in the year since the 20th anniversary and this one came out, things have just sort of jacked up in price. But yeah, this is Vehicle Voltron. It's actually, again, as usual, it's from another series, they mashed together to get the whole thing syndicated because Japanese shows didn't have enough episodes to syndicate, and the TV broadcasters wanted that sweet syndication money. So what they ended up doing was mashing 2 separate, toy lines together and making one toy line. I guess they Voltron their own show together, if you know what I'm saying. So on comparison, okay, so, you look at this one, we all like to think, so the first thing I'm going to say is which Voltron team are you? It's like those sort of, online quizzes. Are you this Voltron team or are you this Voltron team? And of course, 90% of us are going to be on the Lion team. We want to be on the Lion team. But when you look at it, if you're applying at the Voltron Academy, the Lion team is going to be really hard to get on because there's only 5 of you. All right, there's 5 of you, so it's like trying to get a starting spot on a basketball team where there's only 5 people. So your odds are already bad there. This one is 15, vehicles together. So from the first off, let your dreams of being on the Lion team go because you're not going to get that. You're most likely going to end up on this team here, simply playing the odds. That's number 1. Number 2, as you notice over here, see, this Voltron team already has, they've already got a diversity profile over here. So if there's like 2 kids that apply, they're going to be like, I'm sorry, we can only take 1 kid. And you're like, well, what if both are equally qualified? Sorry, that's just the way this Voltron goes. And even on this one, they keep the same, people may dispute that, but on this Voltron, they keep the same thing too. You got the kid again piloting the green one, and you got the same kid piloting the green one there. So just based on, diversity hiring, you're probably not going to end up on this Voltron team unless you and your 5 buddies, completely knock it out of the park and I guess coordinate before you actually, submit your Voltron application. So most likely you're going to end up on this team over here. All right. So I guess in terms of which robot you're going to be on, this Voltron wins. All right. In terms of coolness, it's this one. There's no doubt about it. You say Voltron, this is what pops in people's heads. I say Voltron, like 2 nerds know about this one. And they're both, old enough to collect Social Security. So it's not really this one totally loses in the recognizability of Voltron. Now, as far as robot goes, to me, it's a toss-up. It's a bit of a toss-up because this guy, while cool, I always complain about this. Dude always had lion hands. He's got lions for hands. They're not even hands. They're just lions. So although the robot itself is cool and it's sort of like the biggest strength is the biggest weakness of this Voltron, meaning that, this Voltron's cool because it's lions. I mean, you look at it, you're like, man, that's freaking lions. He's got lion head, he's got lion arms, he's got lion legs. But the problem is that, this Voltron from a conceptual standpoint is a bit lazy in that they're just like, dude, let's just stick the lions together and we make a Voltron. Like he doesn't have to intricately transform these hands into anything. So this one though is way more robot-y. I mean, this one's got actual hands and fingers. Now, granted, it still looks a little bit weird there because I don't know why he's got 5 thumbs to the 5 fingers. But I've always wondered the way to beat this Voltron that they've never done on the show is give him something where he needs fine motor skills, like some type of bomb that he has to insert a finger into, and then all of Eternia or whatever is screwed, whereas this Voltron, yes, and I know Eternia is not the name of the planet, or the whatever. This Voltron, however, has fine finger motions. That's number 1, all right? Number 2, this Voltron, yes, okay, now this is sort of a weakness of the Western Voltrons. The Western Voltrons only ship this bad boy with, you know, a sword and a shield, but that's not necessarily his fault. But this one always comes with a billion accessories, and it's got these little rotor things that he can throw as ninja stars and stuff like that. Whereas this one, like, when he used his accessories, it would just be like the energy cross coming out, or he'd launch these lion things out, which this one can probably launch his fist back in the day too. Robot, I'd say yes, this one's cooler. This one's more robot-y, if that makes any sense. Like, this one looks like he'd be more functional. This one looks like, this dude looks like he could sit in a chair, whereas this guy's wings would sort of get in the way, you know, if you know what I'm saying. Like, this one's just more robot-y. You know, as for which Voltron team, and sort of, so I guess the winner is a toss-up between the two. So the next one is, you know, in individual vehicle form. Now, I apologize because it would take me a long time to disassemble these, and that would probably be a whole other video, but I will at some point. This one obviously disassembles into 5 lions. This disassembles, the weakness of this Voltron is it disassembles into like 15, what the hell are these things? You know, so I mean, yeah, it's okay, but when you go to 15 vehicles, you're really stretching. And the lamest part of this robot are these. I mean, and kids don't even know what the heck these are. These are like, that's like a Ford Bronco, which they don't even make anymore. And this is like some type of, I don't know, it's just another sort of quasi pickup truck thing. But that really dates this Voltron, whereas this one, you know, they can still continue to make, you know, make Legos out of it and make other things out of it. But that's where things get sort of interesting, because part of you, again, you're going to be like, I want to be on this lion team over here. But the problem is that when you're a lion Voltron, you got to master everything. You got to, because you got legs, you can fly, you can go into water. I mean, all these were named after individual elements. So these Voltrons are really complicated to use. Whereas most likely the majority of us are going to be on this team, number one. Number two, this team has clear delineation of what the heck you are. And you just do that. So like the helicopter guys here, right? You're just a helicopter. You know, these car ones, you're just a car. You know how to operate that. So it'll be much easier for you to operate this one, and this one makes a lot more sense in regards to that. I'm just saying, kids, you know, dream of being a Lion Voltron, but, you know, when you're my age, you're going to be on Vehicle Voltron, and that's about it. And the other thing, too, you know, Vehicle Voltron sort of represents what, you know, corporate America wants, or what corporations sort of want in their teammates. In other words, like, this one's pretty egotistical, because like the head of it, this guy over here, forgot his name, you know, he's got the biggest lion, you know, he's the leader, he's got the biggest Mac Daddy lion, and in fact, technically, all the other lions just attached to him to make Voltron. So he's really like Voltron. He's like the Michael Jackson, and these are the rest of the Jackson 5. Whereas on this one, the leader guy's literally just this tiny capsule up in here. You know, I would pull it apart, but again, this thing cost me an arm and a leg. But it's just this capsule up here. So it's like, you know, the greatest leaders, you know, take the least, you know, glory, and take the crappiest ship for themselves, which essentially this guy did. So, you know, from a team building Tony Robbins sort of exercise, you know, this Voltron greatly, you know, shows that teamwork comes together. Plus, you got to manage 15 people on this one, whereas this one's just 5. You know, these guys are just pretty much all a clique of people together. You know, it's just like hey, you know, we're the bad Voltron team. We're all together in this. You know, we're much better than these guys because there's 15 of those guys, but he's 5 of us here. But again, another advantage though, if you're lazy as heck, you know, this is definitely the Voltron you want to be on, because you could totally be sick. Like these submarine thigh guys. Like, they could totally call in sick one day, and this Voltron would still function. Whereas if Pidge took a day off, you know, because he's a green arm, I mean, you got a 1-armed Voltron right there. So if you want to be tardy, if you want to be like the sick guy at work constantly, you got to join this Voltron team. So, you know, as I guess as far as like, you know, leadership styles, or as far as Voltron corporations are concerned, you know, you're going to end up on this one. This one clearly has a better, you know, a balance of power, because there's 15 people, and, you know, the head guy's in the crappiest vehicle, which shows that, hey, you know, I'm a leader. I sacrifice for my people instead of taking, you know, the Mac Daddy line to myself. So I guess when it comes to team building exercises, this Voltron wins. So to sort of do just a sort of recap here, you know, Lion team, definitely the superior of the 2 Voltrons, but, you know, kids, you're not going to be on this team. You're going to be on this one. So don't even think about it. This team also has, you know, some bit of affirmative action, because, you know, you got one of each of these dudes piloting it. So, you know, if you got 2 women applying, sorry, we only have one woman spot here, whereas this Voltron, nobody really cares who's in what. I mean, I can't even, I can only name one character on this one because it's Pidge's cousin, and I can't even remember his name, but that's only one anyone ever remembers. So this one's better. All right, this one's, I guess the lesson here between the two Voltrons is, in life when you're a kid, you aim for this Voltron, but adulthood hits you and you're this Voltron. But as part of the analogy, this Voltron was $180. This sucker was like $350. So, take with that what you will. Again, I appreciate you watching my slow descent into madness in the year of our pandemic. I will probably do an assembly and breakdown of this one at some point, just because, like I said, this sucker's pretty rare. Like, they only had the original Matchbox release, and then they just recently re-released him, Yeah, so this is like really the only robot version, combiner robot version of this that's been released in God knows how long. Whereas these things are sort of, dime a dozen. I mean, there's going to be another one of these like next year, probably. So again, thank you very much. Thank you for hearing me ramble. That's it.